Welcome to Behind the Mic. This is episode number 8. Last week we saw Nick D out of Respect Is Due, and this week we have young Pacino.
Good.
If there's been any show, you've been to any show that's been thrown locally, even in Denver. Where else have you guys? Those have been the two main spots locally in Denver, right?
Yeah.
So
locally in
this
Denver.
man right here has been part of the promotion team, making sure the show goes smoothly, making sure that we have a show to actually go to. They've been putting on for a minute. Respect is due. Now we get to chop it up with each individual artist and see what's really good. So, Chino, you've been doing music for quite a long minute, right?
For a while.
How did you start before Respect Is Due and whatnot? When did you start music?
Man, it's been about 16 years ago, man, with a couple of homeboys from the neighborhood. We just on the karaoke machine. We went to my partner's house, man, and he was the one writing raps already, and he just jammed us up, bro. He was, hey man, I want to fuck around and write something, and I wrote my first probably like my first 8 bars, and then from right then and there, after I wrote it, I recorded it on the karaoke machine, and I figured out that was something I could do. It came easy to me just to sit there and write that verse, and get in there and record it and be on beat, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's been doing it for a good little minute, man. 31 years old now, and I was about 14 when I started, so
that's pretty dope, man. Was there beyond that itself, was there any other thing that kind of influenced you growing up? They like, man, I really want to do this music, or even before you even started messing around with music, was whether it be from listening to what's on the radio or on TV. These music, MTV used to be dope,
Yeah, it was pretty. Yeah,
it used to be dope,
MTV old raps.
That
shit was.
That used to get me like, I wonder if I could ever do that, but I never did anything about it.
Yeah.
Did you have anything similar to that? Where you saw something, you'd be like, man, that'd be dope one day to be a rap superstar kind of deal or anything like that.
Yeah, it was Chicano music for me.
Chicano music,
yeah,
okay.
Chicano music growing up. Had a couple of homeboys that went to California, and then they came back with that Chicano music, which was introduced to us in the neighborhood, and hearing them just rap about their neighborhood and the shit they were going through was similar shit that we were going through in our neighborhood. So that was a pretty big influence on my music, and just to rap about where I'm from, and the homies, motherfuckers on the run, on lock. Shit like that. So that's pretty much.
Any specific Chicano rappers at the time that you were like, those were the ones that kind of inspired you even more? I guess back in the day we'd be talking about Kid Frost and
Little Rob was big back in
and
the
he's still
days.
pushing till this day.
Yeah.
What is it? Lighter Shade of Brown, right?
Lighter Shade of Brown.
Yeah. I always, I paid attention, but I didn't get into it too much, just, I guess at the time, I didn't know I was going to like rap at the time.
Yeah.
I dug the music, but it wasn't like I paid enough attention at the time as opposed to now, but it's crazy how life happens, and you're like, things just kind of just happen, and next thing you know, look at you, you're on the label, Respect Is Due, and probably
blessing.
not, something you would have thought was going to happen, and then all of a sudden, bam, it happens, and there ain't nothing but to look forward,
Yeah,
what
man.
is it y'all say, puro pa adelante?
Puro pa adelante, puro pa adelante, man. You can't stop. You got to keep grinding no matter what. You're gonna have people that want you to succeed. You're gonna have people that want you to fail, obviously, but just grind. That's all you can do is grind. And there's a lot of examples out there. King Little G's one of them. He started just where we're at, how we started, and he was able to accomplish his goals, and we right there, so we're gonna make some shit happen.
Now, let's fast forward a little bit. How did the whole Respect Is Due situation come about? Because me being looking from the outside in, I'm like, I'm thinking to myself, like I always seen you as kind of like, like Booster's right hand man kind of deal, making sure that things are going right and everything, and whatever he needs help with, you got that, and
definitely.
Whether it's a show, you help here recently, you know, I wouldn't say past, what, year and a half, 2 years.
Yeah.
You know, you were pretty much, you know, taking care of all the shows and everything, and putting yourself out as a promoter as well as an artist.
As an artist, yeah.
You know, and I noticed that, you know, but you know, how did y'all link up, you know, and respect is due for him kind of deal, you know?
Yeah, well, he already had his label going, which was, you know, RID, and you know, he was throwing a show back in May 2012. Homie was throwing a show, and I happened to be on the lineup, you know, and I performed that night, and then right after that he hit me up, you know. He was like, "Hey man, I was digging your performance, you know. I love how you rap and shit like that, you know, and so I would love to have you on the label, you know." And I'm glad I made the right choice, because if I would have never went with the label that I'm in now, you know, I probably wouldn't be sitting here right now having this interview with the homie, or linking up with all the other homeboys in different states, you know. So it was a blessing to link up with the homie Booster, and promoting wise, you know, he blessed me, and he showed me how to promote and how to throw my own shows, how to interact with other big artists, you know, shit like that, the business side. So if it wasn't really for him, you know, I wouldn't know what I know now, you know. So shout out to the homie, you know.
Now, could we say that you're basically one of the original members, I guess, of Respect to Do at this point? Or,
well, yeah,
I mean, pretty much, because
you could say that.
I mean, since they've been around, I mean, you've been one of the ones. I guess you got what do they call it? Seniority now. You know, you've been with the label the longest, basically. You know, you've been loyal since day one. You've been, you know, anything that's been asked of you, you've done. You know, you have a catalog of CDs already out. You know, you're on compilations for the label. I mean, you've been putting in a lot of work. You know,
that's
and
what
you know,
it is.
It doesn't go unnoticed. You know, you know, even the haters notice what you're doing. You know, because you know they talk.
Yeah, they do.
And you know that they've said something about Pacino here and there.
Yeah.
You know, and that just means you've been doing something right, and you know that just comes with the territory. You know, now I want to talk about the label situation a little bit. Like, what's that been like? You know, because I've seen you guys grow really big and then kind of fall apart a little bit, but you're still there.
Yeah,
you know, what's that been like? Just the ride itself.
Oh man,
you know?
it's hard. You know, it's like, you know, talent, no doubt. You know, the people that we've had on the label are talented. You know, shit like that. But it comes down to like personal reasons. You know, shit like that, and then other motherfuckers just don't want to make an effort and shit like that. But the people that are in Respect is Due right now, that's a strong little posse right there, you know. Shout out Nick D, Murda, you know what I'm saying? Homeboy in Mexico, the Colorado chapter, Houston chapter, you know, we're everywhere, you know. But I think the homeboys that we have now, you know what I'm saying, that's where it's at, you know.
I can tell you one thing, I see you guys put in work, you know. The current active members, you know, are putting in work and are being consistent, are repping the label, don't have to rep anything else but the label. And that's something that, you know, that people see, and at least now, you know, you guys feel like, to me, that y'all feel and look like a strong unit at this point, you know. Not that you weren't before, but now it's like, it's more, to me, it's like the team's more solidified right now.
Oh yeah, man, everybody's on the same page. Everybody's, you know, trying to make their own moves, you know what I'm saying, which is great for the label. You know, it makes it look good, and that Respect is Due compilation CD that's about to be released here in about a month and a half, man. We're y'all are gonna like that shit, man. That's on fire. That's everybody that's on the label is on that CD. Everybody has their own 2 tracks on there, so it's gonna be dope, man. We're gonna push that CD hard and shit. Y'all get ready. We're gonna have a release party. Talking about having a release party, so Midland, y'all get ready. This shit gonna be live, man. We're about to come back and do some shit. It's been a while, but it's all good. It's all good, Joey. You know what's up.
Yeah,
you know what time it is.
I know what's up, man.
Shout out to the homie, you know what I'm saying?
Now, how many tracks can we expect on that compilation?
Shit, man, like about 22.
22 tracks.
About 22 tracks.
That's almost big enough to be a double CD.
Yeah,
you know,
man, that motherfucker gonna be dope, bro.
One thing that that I've noticed about you guys, and I think you've been just about in every damn one of them. Y'all have a shitload of fucking music videos.
Damn, I know, dude. The other day we were chilling and the homie from El Paso, that shoots our videos, shout out Dreamer. The homie sent all our shit. We had to send like a big ass fucking. Had to have a lot of fucking gigabytes because we didn't realize, man. There's damn nearly like 51 videos.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, man, and in this day and age, more people like to have playlists on YouTube. Yeah. They want to visually see the songs, and that's something you guys are already, on top of, and that's what's dope about you guys is, to me, I feel like the videos you guys drop, keeps the movement going, basically,
Yeah, hell yeah.
And you guys don't have to drop mixtapes just to be relevant.
Yeah.
You guys drop a video, and man, it's like y'all are the fans, good grace already, and y'all stay that way.
Yeah.
And to me, I feel like that's a plus, and that's a good promotional tool to have to keep rolling with the videos. Because when you do that, it's like
you got to keep something fresh. You got to keep something new.
That and not to mention, people feel more connected when you guys have the videos go, and so that's one thing that I respect about you guys. That videos, bam, bam, bam. I know y'all shot videos, more than one in one day sometimes.
Hell yeah, man. One time we shot a video in Denver, and it was like fucking probably like about -2 degrees or some shit, and we're out there, it was snowing, and just trying to be all dedicated and shit, just out there, fucking face chat, but we try to do it, because a lot of the fans, we're out there in Denver, I trip out, we're on stage one time, and they're sitting there singing the Pandillero song, that we have on YouTube, and I'm rapping and shit, but I'm looking at Boost at the same time, like, hey, are you watching this shit? Like, they're really vibing and shit. And that was like the first time that I really got to experience when I got off stage, about 30, 40 people, just surround me and the homie and ready to take pictures and autographs, and same shit we did in Houston with Haterproof, a lot of the fans show love, and maybe because we do the Spanglish, you know what I'm saying, we do the English and the Spanish, and they could relate to a lot of the shit that we rap about, because we rapping about hood shit, we're rapping about the shit that I'm rapping about, the shit that I went through growing up, shit like that. So the youngsters that are living that life now, they could relate to some shit like that, so
now how do you feel, like, do you feel like doing the whole Spanglish rap and everything, do you feel like that sometimes puts you in a box, or do you feel like it helps you out even more? You get to touch more fans now you get to touch both, English and Spanish speaking fans.
Yeah, I mean, I think it helps, because now now we're in Mexico, in Aguascalientes, got the homeboy MC Santa out there, a Respect His Due record artist also, and he's doing big things out there, he's making noise out there, and he's also spreading our music out there in Mexico, as well as in Cancun, they're jamming us out there also, and they've asked me to, if we could book a few shows, in Aguascalientes and out there in Cancun, so that's something that we're looking forward to doing in the future. So I think that shit benefits us, bro.
Yeah, man. That's it. The reason why I ask that is because a lot of times, an artist feels like that's all they have to do, and they stay stuck on just that, But I've heard, I've heard your music. I've heard Boostas, if you guys wanted to, y'all could straight up go all English or all Spanish. And that's another thing that's cool too, because a lot of people just do mixed or one or the other, and you guys do a mix, but you also have y'all's albums where, or even a lot of the songs on the album are either more English or more Spanish, and
more English.
That's, to me, it's like that kind of helps you set apart from the ones that kind of just stay stuck just doing that. When I was growing up, I used to jam like perfect example would be Bash. Bash used to try to do a little bit of both. But once he got to a certain level, he kind of let the Spanish go a little bit. But he kind of had to, I think, in a sense, just because to sell certain venues, you know.
Yeah, then he was already on radio play, you know, and shit like that. So,
but on the flip side of that, then you got someone like Pitbull that's now Mr. International, you know, Mr. Worldwide, whatever he said.
That shit helped him out, man. When he switched that style and he started doing that shit.
So it's a matter of, I guess what it really comes down to is like, you know, finding the formula that's going to work for you, and then trying it out. That doesn't work, adjust the game plan, and boom, you know, and
do something else.
I feel like it's just you guys got more tools, you know. If it don't work this way, just adjust it and try it this way. And that's always a plus. You know?
And so far, man, it's been a plus, man. We ain't seen no negative, not yet, you know. So everything's been a blessing, bro.
And then now the team that you guys got, you know, you got someone like Murda that can do both, exactly like he fits in. And you got someone like Nick D that doesn't necessarily do the Spanglish, but he holds his own and puts on for the team.
He makes some good music, yes, sir. And Ono be killing too, you know. Ramo.
So you know that's it. What surprised me the most is when y'all did sign Ramo. Ramo. Because that, to me, I felt like that was a good look, because I feel like that brought more attention to the team, and be like, hey, yo, we're not just about certain kind of music.
Yeah, we're about a little bit of everything.
Exactly.
You know? That's what I like, man. There's just everybody brings a different flavor to the table, you know.
I mean, basically, it's like respect is due. It's just like how America is, you know, the whole melting pot deal. You know, even in our area, you know, we have a mixture of everybody.
Hell yeah.
And you guys are that melting pot too. You know, and you're a product of the environment itself. But you guys are able to touch everybody, basically. Let's see. Now, speaking on, you know, we talked a little bit about how the Chicano rap, you know, and all that. Yeah. That's what, you know, kind of got you to do what you do nowadays. Currently, is there anybody that you kind of, I guess, get your inspiration from, or how? Currently, as Pacino today, how does he get inspired for music? What inspires you to
want to write and shit?
To want to write, or the topics to come up with topics for your music? You know, what specifically inspires you nowadays?
Yeah, man, bunch of just old school music. You know, might jam a little pop. You know. Or just might throw on a beat, you know, and just for like the past few days, I just been vibing with beats, man. And I wake up, turn them hoes on, and then the shit just starts popping, bro. Just sit there, roll a couple of blunts, light them hoes, and you know that shit just comes natural, you know.
So you basically let the music speak to you, I guess.
Yeah, that's what it is, you know.
Any current artists, you know, currently, you know, that kind of inspire you sometimes, you know, currently, you know,
well,
whether it's...
you know, I like King Little G shit, man. He's a big, that's an artist that I follow, you know. I listen to a lot of his music. Any
mainstream that kind of, you know, I know the mainstream is so in a different place nowadays, but sometimes you can find one here and there that may help inspiration.
Mainstream artists, man, that I be fucking with, shit, dude, to be I don't even be listening to like the rap music that's out right now. You know, I just be listening to a bunch of old school rap music, you know, Do or Die, and you know, old school 3-6, shit like that. But if I have to bump some like new age music, man, I do like alternative rock, bro. You know,
nice. On the label, with respect to doing everything, you know, I've noticed one thing: you guys actually do travel. You guys. You know, I've been state to state, you know, y'all don't just keep it local. What are some of the areas and cities you guys have hit?
Oh, man, we've been blessed to be in Las Vegas, Nevada, you know, New Mexico, Hobbs, Toledo, Ohio, Chicago, Illinois. We've been out to Detroit, all over Texas, you know. Shit. That's about it, you know, but we do it consistently. boom, 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 consistently. And then right now, we're gonna solve some other states. Like I said, we're planning to do some shit in Mexico and shit like that. So yeah, man, we do a shitload of traveling, which is fun. That shit is fun as hell. That shit's super dope, bro. But I'm not with all that flying shit. That shit that shit's scarier than a motherfucker, fool. For real.
Now, what's the love like when you're, whenever you perform other than around here,
Oh, it's like
it's different, right?
Yeah, hell yeah, it's way different, man. We get love here in our city, but it seems like you get more love in a different city, in a different state, because I guess they fuck with your videos, if you got music out and wherever you got it at, that piff, wherever, and they really like your shit, they're gonna jam your shit, and that's one thing that I've seen, like everywhere we go, it might not be a 1,000 people, but there's people out there that are fucking with us that they're expecting us to land when they see us on Facebook when we post something, they show the love, so it's badass, man. You meet some fans and then some of them turn into good friends, like it happened out in Denver, so it's a blessing, man, to get to travel the United States, get to see different places and shit, smoke different weed, that shit dope. Hell yeah.
One thing I've noticed is, and it's a plus for us too as an artist, when you do something outside your city, even for the first time, you're new to that area, you're new to those people, so they automatically give you a chance, and if they, it's almost like the fact that you're from out of town, they pay even more closer attention. Because man. Just here locally, when you do show after show after show,
people kind of get used to you.
Yeah, they get used to you, and then they from a fan's perspective, they see you over and over. It's like, if you ain't doing something new, they might quit paying attention sometimes. Which makes it a little harder. Whereas, say for example, hell, you could probably go somewhere and perform, an old album from like 2 or 3 years ago or something.
Yeah, and it'll be like new
to them, and it's all love from there. That's something that I've always noticed. That it's kind of weird. You would think that the city, your hometown, or the city you're currently at would be the one that's showing more love, but you get more love out of town,
out of there. Yeah, hell yeah. Not to say that we don't get love, but yeah, we get some good love in the city, man. Shout out to Midland, because, they bought a lot of CDs. I hustled a lot of CDs with a backpack out here. I don't know, y'all motherfuckers see me out there, supermercado, shit like that, but yeah, man, shout out Midland. Showed a lot of love, but the love is more spectacular out there in Denver, or, fucking Detroit was pretty tight. Mo Hustle took us out there to Chicago and Toledo and shit like that, bro, It's been a blessing,
What's been, till this day, what's been your favorite place to have performed at? City?
At the Roxy Theater in Denver, Colorado.
Nice. What was that?
That was when the homie Booster, he took King Little G. He took King Little G out there to Denver, and there was about 2,000 fans, screaming fans, and that was the night when they were sitting there singing our song.
Nice.
That was the night, and it was crazy, man. As far as I could see, those people, and it was a good night. There was a very good turnout. King Little G's a humble ass Mexican, smoke all the weed with you in the world, and it was just couldn't ask for anything better than that night, So I'm still waiting to top that night. Everything else,
nice.
Yeah.
Well, at least you got something to shoot for,
Yeah, man, that shit was pretty dope, man.
Now, currently, working on a new album, solo album.
Yeah, we got I got the Tattoos and Ball Fades. That one's been in process, for like about 3 years already, man. Cause I go record music, record tracks, and then like the homies are digging them, and then I don't like them, so I come back and I write some more shit, and that's how it's been for this mixtape lately. It's just track after track after track, but lately I've been able to focus and be able to work on the mixtape, because at that time I was real busy. We were just traveling, and then me and Busto were working on Puro Pa Adelante, and then just doing features and shit like that. But now I've been able to concentrate and been writing and been in the studio more now. Trying to get the groove back because I have been just kind of chilling, for like the past couple months, just trying to relax, grab my, get my thoughts together and shit like that. But
how close do you think, you think we might see that possibly this year, drop this year?
Oh, definitely, man. Hopefully by, what are we, in April?
Yeah.
Hopefully by the middle of May. I already have like about 16 tracks, man, on it. And it was just only supposed to have like 8 or 9, just something little simple, but the music that I've been writing and the music that we've been recording lately, it's been coming out dope, so I'm really looking forward to it. This one, it's really, this is it.
One thing that fans may not know is, they're good. A lot goes into just trying to create an album, more or less dropping it.
Oh yeah, man, it takes money.
Time, money.
Yeah.
Making sure the quality of the music is what we want it to be. Mm-hmm. It's not just as simple as
not just getting in there and
hit record and bam, you're done. Which and I think some people do that.
I think that's what separates the artists from the rappers. You know what I'm saying?
Good point.
That's just one of the things that separates them.
And and I know you do a lot of features, and I know like when you do features, do you sometimes, especially if you're there recording at their studio or whatever, are you able to, being in this game long enough, are you able to make that distinction with the artist that you're working with, being able to tell, like, man, this guy's just a rapper, this guy's an artist, has there ever even been a time where just like, you just end up not doing the session because it's like, well, not taking it that serious, or you still, no matter what, however serious they are about that music, you're serious about it. You just
like no matter what, man, you paid me for that verse, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna kill it, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna kill it. I'm gonna give it all I got, because every time I write a verse, I try to make it my best one each time. So whether he's not serious about his shit, he just bullshitting or whatever, he's gonna get the best verse possible from me,
Yeah.
But yeah, most definitely, you could always tell, as soon as you walk into the studio and you're working with a different artist that you ain't never worked with before, if he has the heart for it, if he has the dedication, you're gonna know off top, They're not gonna ask you, hey man, what's an ad lib? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Shit like that.
Now, being in the scene here, is anybody new or anybody that's just being consistent and just killing it over and over and over? They're just, they're really making some noise. Anybody out here that you kind of like, that you personally, you'll jam, you whatever,
Oh, most definitely. And I say this every time, and he knows it because I tell him too. And this is Pesci, Tex Pesci.
One of the hardest working artists around here, man.
Man, besides what I've seen with my label, with the homeboys, with RID, he's next. You know what I'm saying? Like he has the same dedication we got. You know what I'm saying? And I tell him that. Man, you've been grinding, bro. Like, and he has been grinding. And he's the one making noise right now.
Yeah.
He's the one putting shit out. Yeah. He got his merchandise on deck. So. Yeah. And I tell him, man, keep that shit up, bro. Keep it up, because you're blessed with the talent and it goes down, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. And
one thing that caught my attention with Pesci is his performance game.
Yeah.
Performance game is off the charts.
It is.
The dude is...
Dude, we performed out there
so live, He's so live, and he really does put on a good show, And it's one of those things that, you either have it
or you
don't.
Yeah.
But even if you don't, you can work towards, you might have to work harder, but you can work towards, just like anything in life, you work towards it, and don't stop and just keep moving,
Get better.
And, it'll happen, but you're only going to get what you put in.
Yeah.
And that's that's with anything, but especially in this music game. This music game is so cutthroat, and it's not for the weak-hearted.
It's not really. Hell no.
And I've had to figure that out the hard way sometimes. You know, and that comes with a part of it. Even when you figure it out, what you're gonna do about it? You're gonna keep pushing and make the change you need, or you're just gonna fall out. A lot of people will fall out.
A lot of them will.
And it's just there's so much frustration with it sometimes.
It's not too easy. It sounds easy. It sounds easy as hell, but really it's not, man. It's a lot of late nights.
Yeah.
And if you're in it's a lot of late nights, man. Shit could go wrong. You know what I'm saying? Like personally in your personal life and shit like that. If you're not in it to win it, then just don't fuck with it. You know what I'm saying? But if you're in it to win it and you're just starting off, you know what I'm saying, and you got the dedication, then of course, man, you do that shit, and eventually shit's gonna get popping, bro, because eventually you're gonna start working with people around the city. You're gonna start knowing people, and it's all about promoting. It's all about promotion, man, because if you don't promote yourself as an artist, you could be the dopest motherfucker, but if you don't have promotion and nobody knows you, it's not worth it. So promoting's a big thing, man.
Yeah.
Just fucking pay your $35 for a flyer, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people don't want to pay for this shit.
Yeah.
And my homie Mo Hustle can't sweat that enough. I see him and he's one of the people that I look up to hustle wise in the game, business wise, because he's a very smart individual, man.
Yeah.
I was blessed to get to meet the guy, and he's nothing but game, bro. When you're around that dude, you soak up game. He's Mo Hustle for real, That's why he got that name, because everything about him is a hustle, and he makes the correct decisions. And I've been able to soak that up and help me, help myself in that shit.
You mentioned a good point, and I deal with this on the daily. It feels like sometimes, the fact, if you really want to do this, you're gonna have to learn to pay for stuff yourself.
Because, you got to.
I mean, it's all an investment. If you really want it, you got to make it happen.
Y'all remember, y'all motherfuckers out there doing that shit. Hey, we're all independent artists, man.
Yeah.
We're not. Ain't nobody fucking Hollywood yet. Ain't nobody signed to none of that shit.
Yeah.
None of that shit. R.I.D. You know what I'm saying? We're independent label, and that's why we grind hard, because we know what it is.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't really know what it is. They want that shit like handed to them. You know, I met a lot of people that want shit handed to them, and you gotta grind for it, man.
One of the most common things I've heard, it's like, yo, man, I'm the next to blow up, man. I'm like, exposure don't pay the bills.
Yeah. Ask Pesci. How long has it taken you to get where you're at right now?
Yeah,
you just didn't do it overnight.
No.
I've been rapping for dude, since back in the Stone Age, and it just barely started popping for your homie, dog. About 4 years ago, I've been working hard. It's not an overnight thing.
No, and that's something that people see it and they think that's how it is. It's not,
It's really not.
It's not, I mean, you have to literally, work, and keep pushing and trying to figure out what else do you got to do to leave your footprint in the game and whatnot. And if you don't do that, you're not going to get anywhere.
You're not. You're not.
And it's even harder. Do you feel like it's harder nowadays? Where, let's face it, everybody's a rapper nowadays.
Everybody.
And do you feel that makes it harder for I guess two questions. Do you think it makes it who's it harder on? I guess is it harder on an existing, veteran like yourself, or is it harder on newer rappers that are trying to make a name for themselves?
I think it's for the newer artists, because for me, and I already have a foot in the game. Mm-hmm. I've already been blessed to have been able to plug up with people, to meet connects. Yeah. Because sometimes too, if you don't have a movement for yourself, that's a big negative. But also, it's not what you can do; it's who you know in the game. Also, because if you don't know nobody, which goes back to promoting and networking, that's why you need to promote a network. Because if you don't know anybody in the game, then it's gonna be hard for you to get in. to have somebody co-sign for you.
Exactly.
You know?
And to me, I feel like not only does that make it hard for that to happen, it makes it hard for you not to know when you're dealing with bad business sometimes, you know, because there is a lot of snakes and fakes in the game, and some people are just in it to try to hustle you out, you know. And a lot of it, they're little hustles, and they see an up and coming artist and they try to get some quick money out of them. Say, hey, I'll do this for you, you know, I'll put you on this CD. It's gonna be released nationwide, whatnot, and then you send the money, you don't get nothing. You know, and that you know, I try to tell people, you know, hey, watch out for, you know, for these kinds of things. You know,
ass boy.
Yeah, you know, janky promoters sometimes. Obviously, that's one thing that I feel like has fucked up the local scene when it comes to rap. You know, there's been promoters in the past that have just fucked it up that only certain venues want to fuck with us nowadays. You know, shout out to the ones that do fuck with us, and that's, you know, that's more, we can't thank you guys enough, because without that, you know, rap would be dead around here.
Yeah, it would be popping, you know, and you know, shout out Nita Alexander, because if it wasn't for her, you know, like she's showed a lot of love towards me and the homie Booster, you know, towards the whole record label. She's blessed us, you know, and I can't thank her enough. So I appreciate you if you watch this, you know. And
you guys, you know, the good thing is about your guys' show is you know, you actually, I mean, y'all get a crowd to come out. You know? You know, that's always the good thing, you know. Now, with you mentioned about networking, you know, and even, do you feel like even networking locally is a plus for an up and coming new artist?
Oh yeah. For example, you know, like if we were to network with an up and coming artist, and we were to feature him on any of our projects get pushed nationwide. You know, people in Denver are gonna open that CD up and wonder who this guy is. Who is this guy? He's rapping with Nick D. You know what I'm saying, on this CD. Well, I'm gonna look him up, see if he has any more music. Yeah, and then you start gaining a fan base. You know, they're digging the music out there. That female, that dude, that whoever it is gonna spread your shit around. You know, hey man, check out Homeboy. You know, he's a new dude. You know, he's rapping with the Homeboys, and so I think that's a plus, man. I think that helps. I think that helps a lot, and that's something that we should do here in Midland a lot more, because I really feel Moneyland has talent. You know what I'm saying? There's talent everywhere that I look. It just comes down to the who wants it. You know what I'm saying? Who's willing to put in that work. And I wish everybody would grind hard. You know what I'm saying? I wish everybody would sit there, because there's enough for everybody, but people don't understand that. And people want to talk shit. People want to hate. People want to just dog you out and throw slugs. And I don't understand that shit, bro. There's enough for everybody. Yeah. Everybody.
I agree.
Everybody, but there's only a few that really do it. You know what I'm saying? I could count a few artists that I could say that really have the heart for it. You know what I'm saying? The ones that are really gonna do it.
Yeah, man. I feel like it's a starting point, because if you can network locally, it kind of prepares you to network outside of the city. Luckily, this generation is blessed with social media. It makes it so easy to network with,
plug up with anybody
and everybody, and you can make music together. You know, and a lot of times those are business relationships that end up blossoming into something good, where, you know, they might bring you out to their city, or you might bring them out to the city here, and
like that's what happened with me and the homie Enemy from Oxnard, California. You know, he was one of the artists that I grew up listening to. You know, I used to jam him all the time, you know, and I was able to link up with him, you know, through Facebook, you know, and then it just happened that, you know, we flew him down here, and we flew him to Midland, we drove him to Pecos, and the homie did his thing, you know, and it started off just as a business, you know, but now we became homeboys, you know what I'm saying? Like, homeboy wants me to he wants me to fly out there and go work on, on a project with him. We've been talking about doing a project. So that's something that I got on my plan book, to go out there to Oxnard, California, and go work with the homie, and hopefully we could get this project going,
Now, aside from being an artist, how did you get started with doing promoting, and doing the show thing? And I know you touched on a little bit about Booster showing you the ropes and showing you a thing or two, but how did that get started? Like, did y'all just decide one day, like, yo, we need this is another hustle. We need to start bringing people down and have good shows,
Yeah, like before I got into RID, Booster was already throwing his own shows. Like before I joined, he had already brought down Snow the Product, and then he already had Miss Crazy here. Then he had brought Aquin, and then I got in, and he just brought all kinds of people down, just a little bit of everybody, Tum Tum, so he had already been doing it, and I seen him, like I just seen him grinding and hustling, and then May was coming, and then I told him, man, I want to do like a summer kickoff party, and then he was like, I was trying to give him the hint to do it, like, hey man, we should have like a summer kickoff party and shit. And he's like smoking and shit. He's like, here, and he's like, why don't you do it, So I grab it and I'm like, yeah, fuck it, like I've been watching you for a minute. And he was like, I'll show you, I'll let you know what you got to do. And that's how I came about with my first one, which was a summer kickoff party. And that was in 2016, I think, 15. 2015. And it just started from there, man. I had a good turnout. And
who on your first show, who did y'all bring down?
Do you remember? Booster headlined it. We had the homie Booster headline it, and we brought who came down, man? I think it was just us.
Okay.
As a record label. Just us, and then we still had a very good turnout, and then that was the summer kickoff, and then I had my first Halloween bash, which that one was super dope, man. We had Cheddar from Dallas come out, and Dreamer from El Paso. Both of them, they co-headline that night.
What do you like more, being an artist, being a promoter?
Yeah. Man, I gotta say I probably like a little bit of both, man. To be honest, I like a little bit of both. But if somebody told me, hey man, right now you can't have both.
Yeah.
Got either one. I'm probably gonna stay rocking the mic, man.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stay probably rocking the mic. And so I decided to just give it up, and just like hang it up.
Yeah.
Because no matter what happens today or tomorrow, if I was just to stop rapping right now, I accomplished everything I wanted to accomplish. I set out my goals when I was younger, and I've accomplished every single one of them.
Yeah.
And
how many can really say that? That's good, man. I mean, because even as long as I've been in the game, there are things I haven't done yet. And I want to do, and I will do it. Just a matter of
it's just
time,
a matter of yes. And it was just it was a blessing. Like I said, man, it was just me performing at the right time back in 2012, and just linking up with the right people, with the right record label, and it's just been good from there. You know what I'm saying? That's whenever I started having fans and shit like that. Like, I'm just a little Mexican dude from the east side of Pecos, Texas, and people who know me, they know, and it's just been a blessing after that. Boom. To the top.
Now, not to steer off topic a little bit, but I remember we were having a conversation. I think it was what was it? Man, I think it was after. I want to say it was after the West Texas Stand Up Show thing.
That was a pretty dope ass show.
We came back here, we were chilling, and we're just chopping it up. We were all chopping it up here. Something that probably the people from Pecos know, but. Used to Golden Gloves or something like that. You used to box or something.
Yeah, I boxed growing up, man.
That was a little interesting fact that I learned that night, and I was I was like, Lil Pacino,
Yeah, man,
boxer,
box, man,
You
box
know,
with the
I mean-
homeboys and shit. With my
You know,
cousin.
that's you know, I just wanted to throw out there that, you
Yeah.
know, that we all have
pretty
our little,
dope.
you know, our little. I mean,
Yeah.
it was a little interesting fact, you know,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
we all have our little, our secret talents, I guess, that people don't know about until
Yeah.
we let them know, you know. And
Yeah,
that,
mine
that
was-
was pretty dope. And I was like, you know, when I hear stories like, yep, Chino knocked some motherfucker out, I was like, oh shit, well that makes sense,
Yeah.
you know. Now I know why that probably happened, you know. Whereas opposed, like, was the dude a midget, you know? Or something?
Yeah, man.
You know, was he small or something, you know? Because I can't picture that, you know. I mean, you know, I'm thinking, you know, like, you know, they got to be the same size or something, you know. But, you know, I know, you know, my dad was a boxer, you know, and I know that knowing the skill of any kind of fighting, you know, whether it's boxing or MMA or something, you know, size doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't.
You can defend yourself no matter what, you know, and that's something that's kind of cool to know and just keep in mind, you know, if you ever pursue, you know, wanting to do something like that, it's like just realize that, you know, size really doesn't matter. It really comes down to that skill and technique,
man.
you know?
And ever since I was young, you know, they've always been bigger than me, man. Always, you know, but don't get it twisted. Don't let these little motherfucking
Chino fuck you up.
I'll jab you to death, man, on the cool. Bow, bow, bow. Nah, I'm not. I'm just kidding and shit.
Now, what can we expect from Pacino here in the future? I mean, you mentioned, you know, what you got. You got the Tattoos and Ball Face, you know, dropping soon. You know,
and we got the Respect Is Due compilation album dropping soon. And after that, man, I think it's time. I've been holding off my album. You know, I've been holding it off for a while. I've been just
Pacino Land.
That's one of my mixtapes.
Okay.
Pacino Land. Pacino Land 2, you know, that's coming out soon, you know.
Okay.
That's still gonna
I remember
drop
seeing
in
the artwork.
future.
That's why I didn't know if that dropped or what happened with that one. You know, I just remember seeing the artwork and that shit was just funny. Y'all were all everyone in Respect to Do had their own little character.
Yeah, we were all
pretty
cartoon.
dope,
Shout
you know?
out Nick D, man. He made us look pretty fly.
You know, that was pretty dope.
The CD
you know?
cover and shit. It's just pretty dope, man. But yeah, man, I'm looking forward to doing an album here pretty soon, you know, and just having real good features on there, making a little bit of noise with it, you know, maybe just promoting it hard, you know. We've been talking about driving, man, just traveling, wrapping up the Homeboys Yukon, you know what I'm saying? We're gonna wrap that motherfucker up and take off and go like on a promotion tour, you know, on a promo tour instead of just always going and performing and just having a little bit of time to sell our merchandise and shit like that, our CDs.
Yeah.
We've been talking about like actually just traveling and, you know, posting up at your neighborhood haircut barbershop, you know, and signing some autographs, selling merch, and just doing that shit, bro. You know, go out for like about a week and just no destination, no GPS, you know, just wherever the road takes us and shit like that.
That'd be dope, man. I mean, I know you guys, you know, y'all work hard in everything y'all do, so I know that even doing that with not so much of a plan beyond knowing what y'all just gonna go and do it. You know?
Just go and do it.
I know you guys will be successful in that. You guys always push your guys' music very hard, and it just happens, you know, when you guys make it happen.
Yeah.
You know, and as long as that keeps happening, you guys are gonna keep making some noise, and people are gonna know who the hell Respect Is Due is. You know,
it's gonna be dope, man. Just y'all stay tuned. You know, y'all just stay tuned. We got a lot of more music gonna come out. Got a lot of more videos. You know, not only together but individually. You know, it's gonna be dope, man. Y'all just get ready for it. Tattoos and Ball Fades fixing to drop. The Respect Is Due compilation fixing to drop. We got that Can't Stop, Won't Stop out right now for the Booster Ben High mixtape. That shit is dope, man. That's like something you could just chill with. And
now, before we wrap this up, whatever, you know, is there where can people find you? You know, social media or where can they find your music?
You could find me on Facebook /Young Pacino, you know, Instagram /Young Pacino, Twitter at the real Pacino. Our music's all over YouTube, you know, YouTube/Respect Is Due Records. You'll find a lot of our music. You know, we got a shitload of videos like we explained earlier. And we got a lot of music on like Dat Piff, you know, go check out all the other Homeboys music, you know, go Nick D has some projects on there. Boost.
Now don't you guys have a website, don't you guys?
Yes, we got the Respect Is Due Records website, but it's under construction right now, you know, but it's gonna be back up soon, and you'll be able to buy T-shirts, you know, caps, everybody CDs. You know, you'll be able to, you know when we go on tour where we're gonna be at.
Yeah.
Shit like that, you know.
Now we need before we wrap up, any last words? You got?
Man, I just wanna, I want to thank God, because without Him, none of this would be possible, you know. And then shout out to all the fans out there that fuck with us, you know. That show nothing but love, you know, and that's what it is, you know. Come fuck with us, y'all look out for them shows. We're fixing to throw some shows, and music's dropping. Shout out to fucking TroubleSome for having me on behind the mic, you know. It goes down, man. Y'all smoke one for me out there, because that's what I'm about to go do. I'm about to roll up, choke up.
I appreciate it, man.
Peace out.